Hello guys, welcome to this second video in my Blender introductory tutorial series. Today I will be teaching you some of the ways to manipulate the meshes in Blender so you can start to work right away. Well, first of all, creation shortcut. Shift A will display this menu right here. You also have it in the creation subpanel. Create plane, cube, circle, whatever. Now, Shift A will create a cube, one to go to front view, G to grab and move, and we will move it by increments while holding Control. And G, seed to move along the seed axis and Control. And there we have it. If you press G alone, it will be like a freehand move style. T to close the panel, 1 to go to front view. We are in object mode now. If we want to edit this mesh, we need to be able to pick the vertices or edges or faces. Now, if we press Tab, we go to edit mode. We can also go to switch between modes in this menu here. We are in object mode and we're gonna go to edit mode. Now, every vertex is selected. If we press A, we deselect them all. If we press A again, we select all again. We press A to deselect everything, and with right click in the vertices, we select it. See how the three axes are visible now? If we go and move this, we will move it along the y-axis, z-axis, x-axis. Also, if you press G, you can move it around freely, or in increments if we hold down Control. Now, we also have edges and faces in Blender. So if we press Control Tab, we have this menu where we can select edges, vertices, or faces. We also have them right here. We have now vertices, edges, and faces. Let's select edges. Let's select this edge, and the same for grabbing goes to scaling and rotation. Rotation along the y-axis, rotation along the z-axis. Same for scaling. There we go. Another tool to manipulate shapes. Let's switch by Control Tab to face. Select the face and press E on the keyboard. This will activate the extrusion mode. Extrusion will extrude, as the word says, the selection from the mesh along the normals if you don't press anything else. Let's Control C to undo that and press again, and this time press X. It will extrude along the x-axis. Now let's press extrude and Y. It will extrude along the y-axis. If you don't press any axis hotkey, it will extrude along the normals. Normals. What are normals? The normals are the direction where the vertices is facing. This is most useful when you trying to illuminate a surface and you want the light to behave in different ways. To see the normals, we need to be in edit mode, press N for this little menu to pop up, or here in the plus sign, go to mesh display, click it, or press I to hide and unhide, and here you have the normals. If you press, the normal is displayed. You can choose the size of the normal display. Let's say you have a big scene and you won't be able to see them if you have them like that. Now, let's flip the normals. Control N, T to bring up this menu, and press inside. They're not going inside. Why they're not going inside? Let's try with this. Shift A, mesh UV sphere. The normals in this are pointing out. If we hit Ctrl N and go inside, the normals are now going inside. To show you, to better show you, I will go to press 5 for user perspective. I will resize the sphere and now go inside. See? Press Tab to go to edit mode. Resize them and see how they are pointing inwards now. Let's fix that and with Ctrl N, and now they're facing outwards. This will come in handy when you are editing the mesh, and sometimes when you scale or rotate or whatever, you can mess up faces and they will appear like this. You will have something looking like this. Let's select this, and this. Oops. See how I selected each one separately. If you try to do that, you perhaps are going to find this trouble. This is made by holding Shift, then clicking and clicking, oops, and clicking and clicking. See? Now, if I press Ctrl N, T, and inside, those 4 normals are pointing inwards. Now, to fix that, you select all and Ctrl N, and then it's fixed. Let's get out of perspective mode. Let's press T to hide that. Well, now let's go again to create this cube. Again, G, C, Control to move it in increments. Oops. Whoop, there you go. Now, another thing, very useful thing. Let's say I want to carve a hole to put a door here. Let's say I want to make a house. A good way to do that is, let's press 1 to go to front view and Ctrl R in edit mode, always in edit mode, and you get this purple loop here. If I press left mouse button and right click, there we have a perfect edge loop. But I want 2 edge loops. Ctrl R and up with the mouse wheel 1 time and you get 2. If I press if I roll the mouse multiple times, it will add more edge loops. And I want another edge loop right there. Now, I want this face to disappear, so that will be the hole for my door. Go to Control Tab, choose face, select the face, press X, and delete the face. See? Very useful, right? Now I want windows. Press 3 to go to side view, Ctrl R to add an edge loop, click and right click. Now we will add two more. Remember, Ctrl R, you roll the wheel to select the amount of edge loops. Once you're happy, right click. Let's space them. By holding Alt, Shift and right click, you select the entire edge loop. I will select both of these, press 3 to go to the side view, S to scale, Y for the Y axis, and move it up a little bit. There we go. We clear this, and I will show you another trick now. See, we have that window. Let's say I want another window in the exact same place. I could do this, right? But I won't do it. I will carve another edge loop here, right in the middle. Press Shift in the keyboard to go to wireframe, so I can select through the mesh. Select one side, press X, delete vertices, and I have 1/2 now. In the properties panel, right here, in this tool-like menu, press Add Modifier and go to Mirror. Now we have a mirror of the shape that we had before. Press 1, go to Front View, select this, and what's happened? It's torn in half. To fix this, press Clipping in the Modifier menu. We're gonna hide this. Something that you might want to do when you work in Blender or any 3D software is keep up with the naming. Let's call this house. Remember, in the outliner, if you have to look for stuff, it's always better to have it properly named, so I can search it here. Where is my house? Oops, house, there it is. I'm changing it right here to house, house, house. Now this is a very, very poor house. It doesn't even have a door. Let's add a door. First of all, I'm gonna add a door frame. Click outside. Remember that this has the mirror modifier. If you press, let's say, like this, it will give you this funky behavior that we don't want right now. So, in the side, press Q, scale it in the X-axis, scale it in the Y-axis, in the Z-axis, sorry, in the Y-axis, and some more in the X-axis. 7 to go to top view. We moved it G, C in the X-axis. Now we press Shift to go to wireframe mode. Choose this top and go right here. Now let's add this part. We add an edge loop, Ctrl R, and we go like that. We will select Alt Shift and right click to select the whole edge loop. Oh, sorry, that wasn't what I was supposed to do. Face, choose the face, front view, extrusion with E in the X-axis, and go all the way to close the shape. One thing that you might notice if this had more than 4 vertices is a weirdness going on here. because we have a face there. Now we're gonna delete that face, but we are keeping the vertices. It's quite a nice frame. Let's thin it a little bit. Make it thinner. We have that whole stuff selected. Press 1 and whoop, there we go. And we will do the same here. Choose the face. Oh, I'm gonna delete. Ah, I don't have any face there. And this time we're gonna do it by vertices. Tick, and pull it down a little bit. There we go. Now we have a door frame. We're gonna do the same for the window, but in this case I'm gonna select this whole thing, Shift D to duplicate, E to extrude, Control L to select the whole mesh, pull it out some, Control N to fix the normals, so that since the extrusion was done wrongly, I should have extruded the opposite way. The normals are flipped, but through the magic of normal flipping, I can quickly fix it. Control N, and then I have my normals normalized. Now we select the whole thing, extrusion again in the x-axis. Oops, G, X, and we have a frame. Control L to select the whole shape, and we make it so that it fits the whole. Now I think I would like to add a roof to this house. Let's do something like this. We select this, pull it up until we are happy, and then we extrude it again. Extrude in the z-axis. Oops, there we go. And now we go like that. It's kind of fine. Now I want a roof over my head, so we're gonna press here to cancel the translucency, so to speak, and choose the whole roof. Shift D to duplicate, extrude, and there we go. We have a roof. We'll Control L to select the whole roof, 3 to go to side view, S to scale in the Y direction. There we go. And let's say I want to move this along its normals. Where are you, normals? Whoops. Let's go normal. There. You see? When you change this, the orientation of the handlers of the axis changes to global, which means that it would move along the global axis, this view from where you are, the viewport view, see, up, side. But in this case, I want normal, to move it along the normals. I don't really know which normals Blender is talking about now, because these one are all flipped out. But there we have it. It's a modest house, but a nice one. Now, it wouldn't be a house without a door. Let's make a door. One quick tip for quickly First, I'm going to apply this mirror modifier and now go to edit mode. One quick tip for placing objects would be to select this whole thing here, and you see now that the handlers are in the middle of the selection. Press Shift S to go to this menu, cursor to selected, then unselect all, get out of edit mode, unselect via A on the keyboard, A, select all, A, deselect all. One, Shift A, add another cube, scale it down, Z to go to wireframe mode and adjust more sensibly, sorry. Whoop, there. Control L to select the whole thing. Scale it down the x-axis, and there we have it. Now scale it again in the y-axis, and there you go. You have a simple door. I don't really like this simple door, so I'm gonna invert my selection. I have the door selected. I'm gonna press Control I and then H to hide. Then I hide everything and I have it, and I can work on the door. Control R to give it a couple edge loops. Scale in the x-axis. You get the hang of it by now. One edge loop here, another one there. Whoops, there. Oops. I know what's going on. There you go. Let's again to normal, to global mode. There we go. Now do this. Extrude. You can give it some edge there. Now let's do that. Now there we go. It's a finer door. Let's add a handler to it. Again, click the face, Control Shift, Shift S, sorry, cursor to selected, add a circle. Press T to bring the menu. In here you can press Align to View, so you don't have to rotate it by hand. This will align everything that you create to the point of view you have at the moment. Now let's put the radio down a lot, and it seems that a lot more is needed. Oops. And more to 4. There we go. Now tab, extrude. There we have it. And since this will be metallic, I don't know how to pronounce that. Smooth it out. Nah, that's fine. We can Shift D to duplicate, Control L to select, extrude, and there we go. We have a handle. Now, again, same process, Shift S, cursor to selected, add a UV sphere, scale it down, rotate it 90 degrees, smooth it, and I'm going to scale it in the y-axis, so it looks more like a handle. Alt H to unhide what we hide before. Render, and we have our little house. Whoops. If you don't have anything selected, remember it will pan around the 0 point of the world. But if I have that selected, it will pan around the selection. Well, what else? Let's leave it like this for now, and in the next video I will make the glass on the windows, and we will add some texture to the house. Thank you for listening. I hope you have enjoyed the video. More in the next one. Thank you very much.